Let's go deeper. Um, Age groups 18 to 24 years of age. It says 28% of
Mm.
ChatGPT users fall into this category. They're the heavy users earn the early adopters. That's 18 to 24. 25 to 34 years of age, the largest and most active group comprising about 33% of the users. That is from 25 to 34. Okay, and it gives the footnote where you can get this from. From 35 to 54, substantial segment at roughly 32% of the users. But watch this.
Wow.
55 plus years old, just 14% of regular users,
Mm.
with only 5% of the users age 65 or older. So you mean that me at 66 years old, I'm in the 5% category?
Oh, yes and yes. Hmm.
And then they said 65 and older. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm listen. They said rates are very high. Non-users rates are very high, with only 5 to 6% of older adults having ever used ChatGPT, similar platforms in the U.S. And Gen Z, the ones that nobody really wants to be with, in the group we ask people, are you Gen Z? No, 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 I'm a millennial.
Mm.
Leads all generations with 70% using generative AI weekly.
Wow.
Anything y'all like to say about that?
Well, Archbishop, I mean, the numbers don't lie, and I get it. It makes sense that Gen Z is the largest use generation. This is their technology. This is the technology they've cultivated and they were kind of raised in. Um, for my generation, it was the computer. It was the .com. It was so we knew how to use that pretty much before we at least at an efficient level before most adults. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And Sonia says something here, and she says, mine says 66% of US adults have never used ChatGPT, et cetera, age 50 and older. And Sonia, if you don't mind, can you tell us what age group you are in? That's number one. And if you don't mind sharing what kind of work you do. And I'm going somewhere with that question, as you can begin to see. Okay, any other data statistics are showing up? I do have something else here. It says non-users, 68% of non-user AI users come from Generation X, born 1965 to 1980. 68%
Wow.
from 1965 to 1980. Oh my God, who's here? Anyone around here in that generation? Um,
Oh, I didn't make the cutoff. I missed the cutoff.
Mr.
you
Cutoff.
missed the cutoff. Okay. And boomers, they said 71% of baby boomers. Those are seven. This is, oh Jesus,
Mm.
60 plus. 60 years old to plus, 71% of baby boomers have never used generative AI like ChatGPT.
Wow.
Familiarity and comfort levels drop sharply for older users. Only 20%, 22% of employees over 65 report high familiarity with generative AI versus 62% of millennials. Do y'all see the people that are about to be replaced?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Dr. Jordan, I'm in my perplexity. And one of the what I love about Perplexity is it cites the sources. So there's a Pew Research, and it talks about the usage correlation, and it says usage correlates strongly with higher education. approximately 51% of those with a bachelor's degree report usage versus just 18% of high school or less. So we find that there are more people who are educated that are in the know about ChatGPT and other AI tools versus those who have only graduated high school or have no formal education. So I thought that was interesting too.
Oh yeah, that's another. Trust me, we're gonna get ready to go into race in a minute. This is gonna get very interesting. It's good to see St. James is on citing us today, saying good teaching this morning. Now, if you have family members, loved ones, or people, you should hit them on. You should send them the link and say you might want to listen to this, because the people that really get this, they've paid $5,500 to come in to sit. We just happen to open up the master class to begin to see. And, they have so many ways of getting their money back if they just use the wisdom that come in these master classes. We haven't even gotten to the PowerPoint teaching yet. We're just warming up. This is just our light conversation of what we've talked about. But all of you should have now starting to get this information. And let's see what Wayne Snyder just typed. He says, I'm 52 and use ChatGPT and a little Perplexity. I also have a PhD and 2 masters, which makes a difference. You better believe it makes a difference, Wayne Snyder. And God bless you for doing the work of a PhD. I was in a space yesterday and talking with some doctors and individuals, and I began to name a particular preacher. I said, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "Yeah, they have some real." I said, "They're really scholarly. They have some PhD and information." And the person says, "Oh no, um, we came out of the same organization and church, and I know them very well." And I says, uh, they have um, a degree. And they says, well, if you want to believe that. And I was shocked. My mom, I says, no, but I seen them with the cap and gown on in a picture or something. I says, they are. And then I began to name an institution that they told me that they went to. And they said, they looked at me again and says, and you want to believe that as well? And my mouth was dropped wide open. And I was like, I says, but they went to they says, and they looked at me and says, and do you want to believe that? So when I got home by myself, I went to Perplexity.
Mm.
I said, give me the educational bio of this individual. And Perplexity was nice and says, they're scholarly, but there is no record at all online of any school that they went to.
Mm.
And I was like, you got, I felt like, and I typed in, I says, they says none. So I want to encourage people that, your pastors are saying, they're reverend doctors and stuff like that. You should try to type in their educational bio and see what you're feeding and learning from. Because you might be having a poor diet thinking you're getting a healthy one. Um, what do you think about that, Legs?
That's one of the things I love about AI, Bishop. And let me see how I can say this right. Not by way of saying it. It eliminates let's say liars.
Mm-hmm.
It can eliminate the lie quickly. You can't say something. I can fact check you within the conversation. I don't have to wait. I can fact check you as we're talking.
Mm-hmm.